Why we attract certain people or relationships. Ang daming dahilan bakit paulit-ulit natin ginagawa yung mga patterns natin kahit alam naman natin na dapat di natin ginagawa. So here are some of my personal insights based on my own actions, experiences, and past choices, and also my present choices. Number one is unconscious patterns. We tend to gravitate towards individuals who reflect our own unsolved issues or emotional patterns, leading to repeated relationship dynamic. So, ang lalim nun. For me, parang nung ginagawa ko tong podcast na to, inisip ko, ano ba yung mga personal traumas ko? So, my personal issue or emotional pattern has been I grew up without a father. So I lost him when I was 13. So super independent. Actually, I'm gonna correct that. Hyper-independent person ako. Parang gusto ko, ayoko tinutulungan, kaya ko to, I can do this, I'm strong, don't help me, let me help you, let me control this, I will fix you, I can do this, I can manage. So yun yung issue ko, unresolved issue. That's why I keep on attracting men na gusto ko ayusin. Parang I kept on attracting projects instead of a partner. Yun pala yung cause nun. Kasi yun yung kinalakihan ko na sobrang taas na walls ko, protecting myself. Kaya minsan kahit mali na yun nandyan, or minsan kahit actually tama na yun nandyan, sa taas ng wall ko, di ko na nakikita. Tapos pag mali, gusto ko ayusin. So yun yung personal trauma ko. Moving to our second one, familiarity. People in general are drawn to what feels familiar, diba? Often based on our past experiences and sa mga relationships namin. This comfort kasi, ayaw natin makawala. Ito yung parang comfort zone natin, which can lead to a cycle of attracting similar personalities. Or parang nag-iiba lang sila ng face, pero parang pare-parehas yung personalities. Nangyari na yun sa akin. I kept on attracting same types of men, parang emotionally hindi sila available. Paulit-ulit nangyayari. Kasi sarili ko pala yung dapat kong inaayos muna. Ako pala yung may unresolved na problema. Ako pala yung parang familiar to, eto na lang. So pag may peaceful nag-offer sa akin ng love, care, support, parang boring. So parang ganun ako. So gusto ko yung may chaos, gusto ko yung nag-aayos sa kanya, gusto ko yung naghahabol. Ang laki na difference ng healthy relationship or dating compared dun sa person na ayaw naman sa'yo, pinipilit mong ayusin. Or parang may pinto, parang open, close, hindi siya yung permanent na open. So I kept on attracting that kasi familiar siya for me. Number 3 naman is self-perception. Our self-image kasi nag-influence yan sino na attract natin. If we see ourselves in a certain way, we may unconsciously seek out sa iba yung validation ng perception, parang ganon. So for an instance, in my case, naghahanap ako ng validation sa men dati or sa mga friends also. Na parang sasabihin sa akin, ang galing kong businesswoman, ang galing kong daughter, ganon. Tapos parang, oh, ang independent mo, sobrang free mo. I needed constant validation. Kasi yun yung self-image ko. Kasi yun yung ginawa kong parang way of validating myself. So yun din yung hinahanap ko sa ibang tao. Hindi lang to sa romantic relationships, pati sa friendships. Nakaabot na yan sa experience ko. Yung gusto ko na lang maging kaibigan ko, entrepreneurs or travelers. Tapos kung hindi sila nagpo-fall sa bracket na yun, parang ayoko na. Ayoko na sila maging kaibigan. Na-experience ko yan nung masters ko. So parang sobrang naging close na ako. Ay, pag hindi successful, ayoko na makipag-friends. Tapos ang dami ko definitions no successful. Gusto ko pag housewife ka, dapat successful ka, okay ka sa mga anak mo, or kung ganito ka, doctor ka, dapat successful ka. Pero dumating ako sa point in my life, gusto ko mga kaibigan ko parang entrepreneurs na lang. Which is like super wrong. Looking back now, sobrang mali yun. Nilagyan ko ng limitations yung sarili ko kasi sa validations na gusto ko makuha. Kaya yun yung ini-attract ko kasi yun yung self-image ko. Now na nag-seek na ako ng therapy and everything, I've been working on myself, I try to be friends with everyone. Diba? With boundaries, of course. Very mindful, very intentional. But hindi na ako yung, what's your work? What do you do? So, ginagawa ko pala yun unintentionally. Kasi at the end of the day, tao lang din naman ako, di ba? Kahit na sabihin mo gaano ka ka-successful, gaano ka ka-okay, who doesn't love validation? Kasama na ako doon, di ba? Though, hindi ko siya ginagawa intentionally. Pag pare-parehas kasi kayo ng ginagawa, medyo less yung pag pare-parehas kasi kayo ng ginagawa, parang medyo pare-parehas din ng comments. Yung validation, parang same. Kunwari, business people kayo, lahat kayo magaling sa social media. So parang lahat kayo magpupuri sa isa, oh, ang ganda. So feeling ko for me, nagli-limit din yun ng progress Kasi parang wala ng comments from outsiders. For example, ngayon, kunyari, the man I'm dating wala siya sa social media, okay? Hindi niya alam ano yung ginagawa ko, mga TikTok videos, wala siyang alam. So pag pinanood ko sa kanya, ibang-iba yung comments niya. Kasi naging consumer siya. Like completely, he consumes my content without knowing ano ba to. So iba yung comments niya sa ginagawa ko. So it's a very mindful way for me na hindi na ako yung nagsisik ng validation nung nagkaroon ako ng friends and mga ka-date from iba't ibang industry. Hindi na siya yung parang naka-close na ako kasi a way of limiting myself pala yun. Number 4 is our core beliefs. Yung mga malalalim nating beliefs about love, worthiness, and relationships can shape who we attract. Again, not just in relationships, but also in friendships. Kasi for me, dati syempre nung bata-bata pa ako, nung sobrang strong, independent woman era, hindi ko alam yung soft era. Yung beliefs ko noon, worthy lang ako pag successful ako sa business ko. Pag hindi ako successful sa business ko, parang feeling ko noon, I'm no one. Syempre ngayon, hindi na ako ganon. Through self-work, di ba? Opening up myself to a lot of people, moving to Spain. Again, di ba sabi ko, babanggitin ko several times. Na-realize ko, wrong way yun. Dapat hindi ako ganon, di ba? Hindi porket na meron na akong nagawa na sa buhay, yun lang yung worthy ko. Kaya nga, I keep on building myself as Angeli outside Access Travel. So, magawa ko rin, mag-build ng new relationships na wala na kinalaman sa work ko and yung worthiness ko, hindi na siya doon nakadepende. So, the next one naman is emotional availability. Attracting similar people often reflects our own level of emotional availability and emotional intelligence. If tayo yung hindi ready magkaroon ng deeper connections, we may attract those who are also emotionally unavailable. Ang dami nagtanong sa akin ito Angeli, bakit ka nagpapa-therapy? Sobrang successful mo, sobrang confident ka na. You had a very wonderful childhood. You are loved by your parents, your siblings, your employees. So bakit mo to ginagawa? My answer for that is I do therapy for emotional intelligence. That means, kahit na gaano kaganda ang childhood ko, pinalaki ako ng maayos na magulang ko, lagi nila ako ni-love, they care about me so much, they've supported me, they gave me the freedom, everything, necessities, wants, lahat, para lang makatayo ako on my own and to be here in front of you. But there are more things to build deeper connections, diba? I still have to work on myself. A lot of issues within me. So when I am finally with my partner, with my life partner, I won't be carrying you unavailability. I want to be available. Gusto ko yung emotional intelligence ko from here, nandito na. Yung tipong pag sinabi niya sa akin, I hurt him, iintindihin ko siya. Like, okay, tell me, what did I do? Not yung attacking level, no. But as a person, human to human, okay, I hurt you, please tell me how can I fix this? Or how can I improve myself, diba? So I've also learned in therapy that not everything is an attack on us. No, we need to learn to deal with things na not everything is like personal, diba? Sometimes we do things na hindi natin alam na ginawa na pala natin. Kasi nga, I always talk about this. We all have different beliefs, foundation, values. Kaya minsan tama para sa atin, pero mali para sa ibang tao. Especially if nakikipag-date kayo sa ibang lahi, 'di ba? So, if you are dating a foreigner, for them, they're very direct. But here, sometimes people get hurt because we are so used to na everything is sugar-coated, right? Next one is social circles. The environments na usually nandun tayo can limit our exposure to diverse personalities, resulting ang dinidate natin within parang groups natin, friends natin, doon na lang tayo na in love. So, ang daming factors na. Number one, takot mag-travel. Let's say, takot makipag-meet sa ibang tao. Second siguro is ayaw gumamit ng mga dating apps. Again, I'm just speaking from my personal experience. So, iba-iba yan eh. Yung iba ayaw talaga lumabas ng comfort zone nila kasi mahirap. We are so used to being in our comfort zones and environments na kinalakihan natin. Minsan, ayaw natin ng exposure and ng ibang tao. I know a lot of people, parang ay, di ako nakikipag-date pag nag-abroad ako kasi gusto ko Filipino lang maging jowa ko or maging asawa ko. So, limiting ourselves yon. Kasi parang sinabi na natin, eto lang circle ko, dito lang ako gagalaw. That's why some people, they end up with their friends, colleagues, co-workers, or best friends. Isa pa yung tinatanong lagi sa akin because I have 4 male, super close friends. And hindi ko na maalala, ilang beses tinanong sa akin, Angeli, di ka ba in love sa mga best friends mo? Minsan di ko mapaliwanag sa mga ibang tao. No! I look at my best friends as my brothers. They are my brothers. I grew up with them. How can I think stuff like that about my friends? It's because my social circles are big. I've been exposed to this big world since I was a kid. So I never thought of looking at my brothers or my best friends as something na may romantic. Same din sila sa akin kasi exposed sila sa bigger world, diba? Never nila ako naisipan ng anything na niromanticize nila ako. No. So, platonic relationships, yung walang halong ganyan, yung may pagnanasa ka sa friends mo, so beautiful. And I really think, again, just my personal opinion, you can be friends with opposite sex without anything. Well, sa case ko ganun, and I also know a lot of people na ganun. Yung friends ko ganun din. They're friends with so many female, and there's nothing. There's nothing. Their romantic worlds are different from our friendship world. So yes, pwede nyo maging kaibigan ang opposite sex without anything. Number 7 is fear of change. Change can be intimidating. We unconsciously carry this with us. Parang hindi natin alam na na-intimidate tayo sa change. So ano nga ba yung mga change? Kunyari, nag-travel ka, nag-download ka nga ng dating app, nag-download ka nga ng Hinge, nilagay mo naman sa filter, Asian pa din. Kasi ayaw mo magkaroon ng change. Ayaw mo makipag-meet sa ibang nationalities. Ayaw mo mag-explore kasi for whatsoever misconceptions, diba? Kanya-kanya tayo ng fear eh. So for an instance, may mga friends ako, lagi nila tinatanong, Angeli, pag nagpunta kami ng Spain, paano ba yung mga Spanish men? Hindi ba sila nakakatakot? Hindi ba sila, or yung iba pa nga nakakatawa, naliligo ba sila? So yun yung madalas tinatanong sa akin ng mga tao. So sabi ko, feeling ko naman, naliligo naman sila. Kasi yun yung naririnig. Ayaw ng change. Kasi nasanay na lagi nasa box. So, every person, may kanya-kanya fear yan. Yung iba naman, dahil yun yung naririnig na yung mga foreigners are parang lagi naghahanap ng women from provinces, ayaw mag-explore ng ganon. So, iba-ibang fear yan. Kasi nakaka-intimidate naman talaga, di ba? Pag lumabas ka, yung solo traveling pa nga nakaka-intimidate na yung going out with a different nationality. So understandable naman siya. Siguro small changes talaga. Attraction versus compatibility. Very important for me. My personal take on this is attraction. Pogi, matangkad, abs, masipag, matalino, blah, 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 blah. But hindi naman sila compatible sa atin. Diba? This has been my problem for the longest time. Yes, attracted kami, in love kami, walang problema, maayos kami, pero hindi kami compatible. Ano ba yung mga reasons? Bakit for the longest time nahirapan ako sa compatibility? First, My priority was to travel, to build my company. Second, wala gusto makipag long distance. So, hindi sila compatible. Third, ako mismo yung hindi pa ako ready noon. So parang emotionally unavailable ako kasi my brain was nasa business ko and nasa pag-build ng career ko talaga. So kahit gaano sila ka-attractive, gaano sila katalino, gaano sila kayaman, hindi kami compatible. Ngayon, even the guy I was seeing here for almost 3 years, hindi kami compatible. So we just ended up parang nawala na lang siya, na-dissolve na lang siya. Kasi hindi kami compatible. I live in Spain. I am not gonna compromise my life in Spain to move back here in the Philippines. So kahit gaano siya ka-successful, gaano kadami businesses niya, no matter how good he treats me, or kahit ano ibigay niya sa akin, we are not compatible. So isa to sa mga mistakes na ginagawa natin. We waste so much time, including myself, sa mga traits na nakikita natin sa isang tao kasi drawn tayo doon. But that doesn't necessarily means na compatible tayo with them. Sad, but wala eh. It is what it is. Life works that way. Just because we like someone, hindi ibig sabihin compatible tayo with them. Number 9 is projection. People often project their desires, fears, or traits onto others. So madalas, kunyari, hindi ako emotionally available nun. Ganon din yung mga na-attract kong lalaki. Kasi napaproject ko siya. Diba? Tapos, businesswoman ako, diba? Ganon din yung mga na-attract ko. Kasi nga, parang ano siya, attraction. Parang yun yung gusto mo. Parang andali kasi, parang ganon. Tapos, nakakita rin ako ng isa pang ginagawa kong pattern. I started to be attracted sa mga tao na parang nawalan ng family members. Kasi parang naalala ko yung pain na na-feel ko when I lost my dad. That was the scariest. Kasi parang pag sinabi ng someone, wala silang parent or divorced, ganyan, parang napaproject ko yung ano ko sa kanila. So nag-start ako doon. That was so scary. So now I'm very mindful of that. Na yun na nga yung pinagalingan ko. Ayoko maka-attract na isa pang ganon na someone lost their parent at a young age or divorced sila or broken family, or if ever ganon, I want this person to have a very healthy relationship with the parents. Kasi ganon ako sa mom ko. Even I lost my dad, sobrang ganda ng relationship ko sa mom ko. Healing opportunities. Sometimes we attract these people kasi parang same time ng trauma, fear, pain. So we want to heal with them. Pero parang pag pinakinggan mo siya, healing opportunities, para siyang positive. For me, I still take it negative. Kasi paano kung hindi kayo nag-heal together? Paano kung yung lessons na, or yung expectations mo na makuha mong lessons from there, hindi mo makuha? So, ma-frustrate ka, madidepress ka, magkaka-anxiety ka. That's why we should never look for healing in other people. We should find it sa self natin. Sa self natin yan magsisimula. Dapat never natin yan hinapin sa partner natin, or let's say sa future magiging anak natin ay heal tayo. Sa friends siguro pwede. Pero sa partnership or sa relationship, sa romantic relationship, no. For me, it's a no-no to find these past wounds na healing. Kahit na alam mo, pwede naman hindi kayo parehas matuto na any lesson and magkakaroon lang na frustrations. So that's all for today's episode, guys. If you are single, please enjoy your singlehood. If you are in a relationship, keep working on your relationship. If you are going through a breakup, please know that you should not regret sa mga past nyo kasi wala na kayong magagawa dyan. Live in your present, and please know that there is always something waiting for all of us sa future. Hindi man lang siya certain, but everything works out all the time. Please head over to our Instagram account, Life in Progress PH, and our TikTok account is Life in Progress Pod. You can also watch this episode on my YouTube account, Anjali Dab. That's all, guys. Adios!